everybody. Get it? Take two. Good morning, everybody. Like Ms. Brown said, I'm Jalen Spicer. I am from Dallas, Texas. I am a senior English major, and I also happen to be on the Bison football team. I play running back.
Whoop whoop.
Living with me in Dallas, Texas are my two younger siblings, along with my mom. I also live with my stepdad, but I don't have a dad in my life. But my story's not about that. My story's not a sob story. My story is a story of triumph, and that's what I want to share with you today. My Harding story started like that of a typical college recruit. I knew that I wanted to play football at the next level, but where I would do that, I wasn't too sure. I had aspirations of playing at the D1 level, Power 5 football, but if you notice, I'm not the biggest guy in the world, so I had to get a little more realistic with my vision. At the end of the day, I knew I just wanted a home to play football. My focus was on finding a place to play football. Fast forward to the end of my senior year, I was set to take my third visit to a small Church of Christ school in Searcy, Arkansas named Harding University. Before Coach Tribble, who's not here today, but before Coach Tribble came to my high school and introduced me to Harding, I'd never even heard of Searcy, Arkansas, let alone imagine myself living there for the next 4 to 5 years. I had no knowledge of Harding or the special community that lives here. But it didn't take long for me to learn the love and the spirit of Jesus that lives here. From the moment my mom and I stepped out of the car, we were greeted with smiles, warm hugs, just welcoming conversations. I felt right at home, even though these people had never met me before. You'll notice up until this point, I haven't mentioned anything other than football. That's because as a shallow-minded senior in high school, I figured that was all the value that I had to give to the world. I was a football player, I was athletic, and to me, that was the most important thing about me. Man, how that's changed. The thing about Harding is, yes, you can come in and think that you'll be just an athlete, but they challenge you to be something more. They challenge you to be something different. They challenge you to stand out. If you got a chance to sit in on a position meeting for the football team or come to a practice, you'd expect to come and hear Coach Simmons or Coach Wood or anybody else yelling, screaming about how we need to win, how we need to dominate. The things that go into a national championship season. But I'll tell you this, the first thing you hear is you hear Coach Simmons sharing testimonial stories or dropping nuggets of wisdom about how to be a better husband and father. You hear Coach Wood sharing Bible stories in the meeting rooms with the slot room. Just, even if they have no connection to football at all, he just wants us to know God, he wants us to learn about Jesus, he wants us to learn how to be better men. You hear Coach Greg actively trying to make every individual person on the team better with his encouragement. You see Coach Middleton, who just joined the staff last year, actively trying to build relationships with every person on the team. All these men are actually here in the crowd today as they give up their mornings to be here for me. If that's not love, I don't know what it is. I genuinely believe you won't find a better group of men coaching college football anywhere else in the country. And as for the players, we can't help but follow example. Some of my teammates are in the crowd with me as well, Dre and Wes. If y'all get a chance to meet them, please do. It's been such a blessing in my life, and there's such a light to those around them, and I just pray that y'all get to experience that as well. But here, I've learned the importance of being vulnerable with one another. On the team, we share our faith. We cry together. We rejoice together. We win together, and we lose together, even though we don't like to do that one. Regardless of what happens, we're together. This past season was the most fun I've ever had playing football in my life, and I'm sure a lot of people would agree with me on that. Playing in the national championship is something I'll never forget. My grandkids will hear stories about that 2023 national championship. Well, what if I told you that the most memorable moment from that season didn't happen on the football field? Going back to week 9, we had Southeastern Oklahoma on deck. It was a road trip. We were rolling at this point. We were undefeated. We felt like we were hot, we couldn't be beat. You could feel the energy and the confidence just radiating from the team. We were men on a mission, we felt like we couldn't be stopped. But then, my roommate at the time, my best friend, his name's Kendall, who couldn't be here this morning, but he learned he had a collapsed lung. It was random. He didn't take a hit, he was just on a knee at practice, felt a sharp pain in his chest. If you know Kendall, you know he radiates positivity. Like he always has a smile on his face. 5 a.m. workouts on Wednesday mornings, he's always there smiling, getting the energy up from everyone around him. He's just a light in a lot of people's lives. So walking into Unity Health Hospital and seeing him hooked up to a bunch of different tubes and helpless basically, it hurt. The moment I'll never forget though, it came the day after he'd been admitted to the hospital. That was a Tuesday, and on Wednesdays, me and a couple of other teammates and a couple other friends started a Devo group. It's very small, very intimate, very casual, but we meet every Wednesday at 7:30 at my house, and we just, somebody brings a word, we'll read a chapter of a verse, or we'll just sit and talk about our days, how we saw God. But with one of my members in the hospital, something had to change. We couldn't carry on normally. We knew we had to take that Devo to the hospital. It could have been easy to just go in there, as friends, that is our guy, and just laugh, try to brush it off, try to make him forget about the situation, but we knew that we all needed God more than anything else in that moment. We were helpless, we didn't know what to do. I'll never forget sitting in that room with tears in everyone's eyes. Coach is there as well. And Kendall, who has a collapsed lung, the last person on earth that deserved that type of injury, sat and said that God had prepared him for that. Yeah, it still makes me a little emotional to this day. He was faced with the possibility of never playing the game that he loved so much ever again. But yet he chose to glorify God in this situation. I don't think there's another university in the world that can take a group of men from all over the place, all over the country. One of them from across the ocean. Tondo, if you get a chance to meet him as well, he's from South Africa. He's another blessing in my life. But no other university can take that group of men and mold them into a singular, cohesive group that all has our eyes set and focused upon God.
Amen.
I don't think that happens anywhere else. The way Kendall felt in that moment is something that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. It's the way that I feel about my next step, my next chapter in my life. And I haven't mentioned it yet, but I plan to teach and coach at the high school level, English teacher. But I know that comes with its own challenges, its own mountains, but the God that I serve can move mountains.
That's right.
God has prepared me for this. I can be a light in the lives of countless kids because of the things that I've learned here at this university and the people that I've met. I could really stand here and talk for hours about the things that this place has done in my life. And if you want to hear more, I'll be happy to tell you. Just come find me after this. I've learned to be a better teammate, a better friend, a better brother, a better son, a better person, a better follower of Christ. I know what God's love looks and feels like because of the coaches and professors, as well as the friends that I've made here throughout my time. As I close, I just want to take the time to individually thank each person sitting in this crowd, because without your support and loyalty, I'm not sure we get the chance as a football team to shine a spotlight on Searcy and glorify God on the national stage. It took the support, the donations, just everything that you've poured into the school, our program. It's taken all of it. It takes a village. This place is so special. And I pray that as we move into this next century, like Dr. Williams said, that it can become even more special, but that doesn't happen without the people in this room. So again, I say thank you.